Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Aiden here with another video, and today we're going to be doing Brian Hunt Career Sim. And I recorded the first half, and then I realized the second quarter file was corrupted. So that means we have to restart. So that's great. We're playing up against the Mavericks. The Mavericks team has Joel Embiid, Keldon Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Karis LeVert, and Kennedy Chandler. So a good team, especially with Kennedy Chandler turning into a very good young star, already an 86 overall. But of course, we do have Ja Morant, Brian Hunt, Gordon Hayward back in the starting lineup, Grant Williams in the starting lineup, Wendell Carter, and off the bench, Jalen Brunson, Theo Maladon, Josh Christopher, Champagnie, and Seth Curry breaking the lineup. As we did make a trade, I believe it was who was it? It was PJ Dozier for Seth Curry. So I mean, take that as you will, but Seth Curry will end up being a rotational player for us. As we'll just go right into it and make sure that I am playing the shooting guard position and all of that is on for some reason. So that's strange. But yeah, we'll hop right into it. I think I meant to change the jump shot yet again. It might have synced over from the last time I did it before last game. It might not have. I'm hoping it did, but no promises. And in that last game, he was going off. He had 20 points in the first quarter or first half. So, pretty disappointing when you look at how it ended up. But we'll start right into it, and it will be Pacers ball first. And we'll get the ball, get a screen from Wendell Carter as he hits the tough layup for the first points of the game, averaging almost 20 points a game this season, leading all rookies as Kennedy Chandler will dribble the ball, pass down to Joel Embiid against Wendell Carter. Joel will pump fake, not fall for it, and end up getting the easy look at the basket after the follow through, as Joel is averaging 27 points at home. And we'll get the ball back at the top of the key, dribble in, go past Joel Embiid, and end up dunking it down against Joel Embiid's bad defense as he just blows right by him, the center not able to keep up with the faster player, as Brian Hunt has all of Indiana Pacers points through the first minute of the game. Joel Embiid again in the post against Wendell Carter. Wendell falls for the pump fake. Joel doesn't end up taking the opportunity. Joel posting up and then takes a hook shot that does not end up falling. Gordon Hayward now with the bucket as Brian Hunt will get the ball in at the wing and end up getting fouled from Joel Embiid. So maybe Joel gets into a little bit of foul trouble in this game, but no promises as we will try once more to score, as maybe we'll look to set up Ja Morant this one, as we'll pump fake and end up driving in on Karis LeVert, and he'll end up taking a tough shot and end up missing somewhat of a hook shot that does not end up going in, as Kennedy Chandler will dribble the ball back in. Joel Embiid passes over to Karis LeVert at the top of the key, and we'll end up getting an open look from mid-range as Wendell does not switch over, and it will be tied up at 4-4. Now it's getting a screen from Wendell Carter, ends up wide open in the corner, but Ja Morant can't find him. We'll set a screen for Gordon Hayward here, leaving him open. We'll call for the ball in the post against Karis LeVert, but we won't end up getting it. 6 seconds left on the shot clock, ends up going back to Gordon Hayward. Gordon will end up taking a tough shot and missing. And Brian Hunt will grab the rebound and end up taking a good shot. And he has all 6 of the Pacers' points through the first quarter. So good offense so far from Brian Hunt, as we will begin to play defense again, I guess, as Kennedy Chandler will be left open and Karis LeVert will be left open. But good defense from Brian Hunt to close off that opportunity. And we'll end up dribbling through and just look to run the play to completion. Williams will set a screen, but we'll look for Ja Morant in the corner as Grant Williams will come set him a screen. Grant hopefully popping out to the perimeter as he is a 3-point shooter, and John Morant will drive inside and end up taking a tough fadeaway that will end up missing. And Keldon Johnson ends up taking the ball back up. Kennedy Chandler dribbles through and will be left wide open for the dunk. Short player for somebody who can dunk, 6'1", I believe, maybe even 6 foot, but he can do it. So Brian Hunt will call for the ball, but John Morant will end up ignoring us as he just dribble down, waiting for a screen from Wendell Carter, and John Morant will be left wide open for the slam down. And now it looks like Indiana Pacers will lead by 2. First points of the game from John Morant, and not having a great season as some of the offensive load has been relieved from Brian Hunt. But other than that, the team has been really terrible. I don't believe a single other scorer averaging above 10 points other than Brian Hunt and John Morant, as Wendell Carter will reach in against Kennedy Chandler and draw the foul. Now with Brian Hunt. And Grant Williams will end up blocking and passing down to Brian Hunt, as Brian will dribble in and end up taking a tough shot and missing. Somewhat of a reverse tough. Everything on that shot, as he will not make it fall. And now the game tied up at 8-8. As we'll get a screen from Wendell Carter and end up popping back up in the mid-range area. Of course, a good mid-range player is Brian Hunt, as we'll just dribble it inside. And Grant Williams want to end up getting out of the way, so we'll just pass it over to him to let him take the shot clock violation, as Gordon Hayward takes a tough shot again and overall misses. I hate when 2K doesn't realize that you're trying to post somebody up, and then so they'll just bring another player, or your teammate will walk over to you, and it's just man, I'm trying to get my work in here, but all good, as Joel Embiid will get the ball in the post yet again, and Brian Hunt and Wendell Carter will end up working together for the defense, as we'll get Joel Embiid on us. We'll call a little bit of an ISO here, as we won't want to be switched on to the tougher defender in Mikal Bridges. And now dribbling the ball inside, and it ended up being a charging foul on Brian Hunt. So not very great of a play. And I'm realizing something as we play with Brian Hunt. His stamina is really not good, as we will be taken out of the game. So I'll see you guys next time we come in. Brian Hunt now back in the game in the second quarter with 8 minutes left to go, as Dallas leads by 10. Wendell Carter will dribble the free throw line and end up creating the shot. And now we only are down by 9. As Peyton Pritchard will dribble the ball up the court, of course a very good ball handler, as Joel Embiid takes the ball and passes over to Keldon Johnson. Now Peyton Pritchard have the ball, and he will end up greening the 3-point shot, being left wide open, and now down by 12. And Peyton Pritchard leads the NBA in 3-point shooting, so I guess that's a thing. As Wendell Carter will dribble the ball up in the post and end up just not doing good, as Brian Hunt will jab step and end up calling for a screen, and end up taking a one-footed shot. I tried to just pull up there, but takes a one-footed leaning shot, and obviously does not end up going in for him. Not KD here, Brian Hunt, although would be nice if he were. Same height, pretty much. Might end up giving him KD's jump shot, as I'm sure would work perfectly fine for him, as Peyton Pritchard will get the ball up the top. Don't leave him open for 3, apparently, and now will miss the shot. Looking up for John Morant, and Ja will get the easy layup, as Brian Hunt gets the assist off the fast break. Now only leading by 10 is the Dallas Mavericks, as Ja is only averaging 20 points per game this season. Peyton Pritchard dribbles the ball up, Caris LeVert now in, as Jalen Johnson will get the ball in the post. Caris LeVert tries dribbling inside and end up losing Brian Hunt, but good recovery to not let the shot go in. And Brian Hunt will unnecessarily spin, but end up hitting the floater anyway, as now they are only down by 8. Again, Peyton Pritchard dribbling the ball right back up the court. Caris LeVert taking the ball, ends up hezzying, and will end up almost getting blocked by Wendell Carter, but ends up getting lucky there, I guess. as he'll cross over. Now has Joel Embiid on him, as Ja Morant has Joel Embiid on him, so we'll make sure he can try to get that opportunity, as Wendell Carter will dribble in against Peyton Pritchard. And I don't know what his obsession is against taking bad shots against smaller defenders. That's 4 episodes in a row now. Well, he'll be up against a defender, and he won't take it all the way to the basket. He'll just take a fadeaway. And it's not good for him, as Brian Hunt will get the wide open look and end up hitting the floater. Now the Indiana Pacers are only losing by 6. Sorry about that, guys. Brain freeze. As Jalen Johnson will get the ball in at the top, and we'll just wait for the play to develop. I hate this game. As now Karis LeVert, and at the 3-point line, guarded by Brian Hunt, end up getting the screen, and good recovery from Brian Hunt to get that, but Joel Embiid is right there to clean up the mess, as the Pacers will take a timeout. Back in now, the Pacers are. Brian Hunt still in the game, obviously, has only been in the game for a few minutes now. Wendell Carter will set the screen for Brian Hunt. We'll look to get down to Wendell Carter. Hopefully he'll actually take it to the basket now, and he does. And it'll end up being a assist. No, not an assist for Wendell Carter, as I guess Wendell just took too much time, and Peyton will dribble the ball back up the court. Tries crossing over Ja Morant, but good defense from Ja to not let that happen. Joel Embiid now again in the post. Won't look like he'll do anything with it, though, of course, as this game is garbage. And now finally starts dribbling the ball inside. Joel Embiid lets Wendell Carter pump fake, and will be left open on the fadeaway, but does not end up converting, as Brian Hunt will get the ball yet again, calling for a screen from Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward, of course, reciprocates that screen, as Keldon Johnson will try to guard Brian Hunt and end up failing in that, as Brian has 12 points in the first half, 12 points in the paint, of course. But that game that I lost, he hit three pointers in the first half, so not great, as we lost that footage. But it ended up being a Keldon Johnson loose ball foul, as he'll pick up his first and team's first in the second quarter, so not a very scrappy game so far for the Dallas Mavericks, as we'll now be getting guarded by Mikal Bridges, which is not great. And we'll call for a screen from Wendell Carter. Wendell Carter will be told to fade, as Ja Morant will be left open and end up getting snatch blocked from Joel Embiid, I guess, as Keldon Johnson will jiggle the ball up. Not a great ball handler, as Kennedy Chandler will just be left wide open because Wendell Carter won't move out of my way. So that's another great play from the Dallas Mavericks, I guess, as we'll try to get the ball, but end up missing. As we'll set a little screen and end up getting the switch, as we'll kind of spam for the ball here and call for an ISO against the smaller defender, as we'll just blow right by him and end up drawing the foul from Jae'Sean Tate, his third personal, and we'll end up taking 2 free throws, as Brian Hunt is, of course, a very good 3-point shooter, 83%, or free throw shooter, 83% on the season, and his first shot, of course, goes in, and his second shot will go in, as the Pacers are now only down by 4, so maybe looking to get a little bit of a comeback in this. And I don't know why I yawned so much during the filming. I know you guys, my watch time is terrible, but I know you guys probably noticed that, and I don't know why, but it happens, as Wendell Carter will end up playing good defense, but Jakob Poeltl will end up getting the ball back. Make sure to defend against Mikal Bridges at the 3-point line, and he'll end up hitting the mid-range shot anyway, pushing the Mavericks back up 6 points. As Brian Hunt will get the ball, end up taking a little step back, but good defense from Mikal Bridges will end up not letting up a shot, as Jakob Poeltl will play good defense. Of course, Jakob Poeltl coming off the bench. Good squad here for the Dallas Mavericks. Lots of very good defense, as Jakob Poeltl will grab the rebound and end up just hitting the easy shot with no defense, and the Mavericks will lead by 8 now. Indiana takes a timeout. Now here in the third quarter, as the last timeout, he got subbed out as not Keldon Johnson. Kennedy Chandler will be left wide open, and we are only trailing by 2 now, as Brian will be left wide open, but Ja can't find him. We're trying to post up Joel Embiid, which is not going to work, as this coach is terrible, and I want Rick Carlisle fired. And maybe a trade coming in the future, but doubt that, as Brian Hunt will more than likely stay with the Indiana Pacers. But Rick Carlisle, terrible coach, and will not generate many options, as Brian Hunt will get the ball, end up taking a 3-point shot, and almost hits it with that KD jump shot. And of course, it does save over, but not a bad shot, of course. If you are Brian Hunt with the A+ 3-point rating, although we can seem to never hit it. As again, Dallas Mavericks are up by 5. Brian Hunt will take the ball up and end up dribbling past the defense and end up being left wide open for the slam against Keldon Johnson. Dunks all over him. Wow, oh my God. As Keldon Johnson maybe left a little bit dizzy after that head tap. And good play from Brian Hunt as Caris LeVert is left wide open, of course, and greens the shot. As Brian Hunt, not playing great defense whenever we play with him, but a good defender in simulation, as we'll call for a screen from Wendell Carter, and end up greening the 3-point shot. Green bean machine from Brian Hunt, and he has 19 in the third quarter, as now Indiana only losing by 3. They'll look for a post-up for Joel Embiid. Of course, he does have his takeover, but will not end up mattering, as Caris LeVert will take a bad shot and miss. Now Brian Hunt with the ball, dribbling the ball up the court, and dunks down on the fast break. Now only losing by 1 is the Indiana Pacers, as the 6'9" guard dunks down on the break. Now looking for Caris LeVert yet again. Caris having a good game so far. Kennedy Chandler now has the ball in the corner. They're setting screens for Caris LeVert, but it will not end up working out, as maybe it will, as Brian Hunt will fall for it and end up... Caris LeVert ends up missing the wide open shot, so it doesn't happen very often, but obviously does happen, as we'll call for Brian Hunt to get the ball, but of course will not listen. And we'll call for an isolation against Kennedy Chandler, the smaller defender, and end up getting the easy shot off of the post-op opportunity. 23 points from Brian Hunt. Indiana now leading by 1 with 7 minutes in the third quarter, 51-50, as they'll look to get Caris LeVert open, it looks like. But Kennedy Chandler will be the one left open, but does not take the shot, as he is pushed too far back from the 3-point line after the pass. And Caris LeVert will end up hitting the tough 3-point shot. Man, he is on tonight. And now they lead by 2, as we'll try to get Brian Hunt the ball yet again. And it will end up being his ball, as John Morant will look to set up the play, crossing over Kennedy Chandler, and again, just another tough shot. But Wendell Carter there to clean up the mess, and we are now tied at 53. And Kennedy Chandler now bringing the ball up the court, looking to set up Keldon Johnson. Now Joel Embiid has the ball. Now Caris LeVert having a very good game, as he will get the screen and somewhat lose Brian Hunt. But Wendell Carter will end up getting the steal, and we'll end up calling for the ball. Of course, we won't get it, as we'll be left wide open several times on that play, and just another terrible shot. So, this Indiana Pacers team, man, we're just going to have to hope for a lottery pick, as Caris LeVert gets left wide open again. No more help defense against Caris LeVert, as I won't be playing. I'll just be smothering him from now on, because obviously I can't leave players open on this Hall of Fame difficulty. And as I'm learning how to play, I guess, I now learn that you can't leave people open, as we'll cross over Kennedy Chandler and dunk it down on top of him. Now only losing by 1, of course, as Brian Hunt gets his lockdown takeover, although not playing great defense. But now switch on to Kennedy Chandler, as Seth Curry will get the start on Caris LeVert. And with Joel Embiid being left wide open against Grant Williams, of course, it will end up sinking in. And we'll look for a play for Brian Hunt to be ran, as we get the screen, end up popping out at the 3-point line and ends up being wide open, but misses the shot, of course, because we can be left wide open and not hit, as Kennedy Chandler calls for the ball in the corner, but will not end up getting it. And good block from Grant Williams ends up impacting the play, as we'll look for the ball from Brian Hunt. Brian Hunt takes the three-point shot, ends up being late. And again, 1 for 3 from three-point land today. So maybe we just need to find a super cheat code jump shot so that way we can just green 10 shots a game. But that doesn't seem like fun to me, as Joel Embiid will be left wide open and we now lose by 5. Brian Hunt shooting pretty good this game, well over 50%, as we'll dribble in against Kennedy Chandler. Ends up being left kind of wide open, but will end up passing back over to Curry. Of course, not Steph Curry, but Seth Curry. And Brian Hunt will be tired, so we'll just let Gordon Hayward take another bad shot, as we'll just start getting back on defense. No point in playing here, as Karis LeVert will grab the rebound. But, of course, no fast break points will be getting scored, as Brian Hunt is down in the court and ends up blocking the shot from Kennedy Chandler. Plays good defense against Peyton Pritchard again, and Kennedy Chandler will be left wide open as no switch from Ja Morant comes, and wide open three-point shot. So, not great, as Brian Hunt will get the ball and slam it down on the alley-oop against Kennedy Chandler. So Brian Hunt trying to carry this offense, but also letting up a lot of points, as Kennedy Chandler will dribble the ball back up the court. Brian Hunt will be taken out at this timeout as he is exhausted. So we will see you next time he comes into the game. And I guess I was wrong, as he is in after the timeout, although very tired. Maybe Rick Carlisle wants his star player out longer than expected, as good defense from Brian Hunt will lead to the miss. And we'll look to run on the fast break. Brian Hunt left open. Ja Morant finds him. And one against Karis LeVert, trying to carry this Indiana Pacers squad. Wow, trying to talk fast there, as we'll be switched on to Jakob Poeltl, I guess. Although a good defender, I don't know how good he'll play against the center position, as I don't know who that player is there. Will dribble the ball inside. Josh Christopher ends up grabbing the rebound, and Brian Hunt will bring the ball up. And Brian Hunt ends up getting blocked from Jakob Poeltl. It looked like a good look, but Jakob goes over and ends up dunking down Jae'Sean Tate. And Dallas now leads by 5, so it seems like we'll get a score and then they'll get 2 right now. So not great. Jalen Brunson will dribble the ball. We'll call for the ball. End up getting a screen from Justin Champagnie. Justin left wide open, and he'll end up dunking it down, as a little cockback dunk from Champagnie will lead to Brian Hunt's second assist of the game. And we are switched on to Jakob Poeltl permanently, I guess, so I don't like that. But I guess Rick Carlisle does, as Jakob will be left wide open and end up missing, so maybe a good option for Brian Hunt to be guarding. But we'll end up getting out-rebounded, and that's why we don't want Brian Hunt on Jakob Poeltl. Has terrible coaching from Rick Carlisle. And Champagnie will be left open again, and he'll end up missing the shot. Very late layup. And Alec Burks will end up dribbling the ball back up, getting a screen from Jae'Sean Tate, and be left wide open. So, yet again, another bad look, as we'll dribble the ball inside against Alec Burks and end up almost taking a fadeaway shot. Looks out at Jalen Brunson, as Theo Maledon will take the ball inside and end up getting almost blocked from Jakob Poeltl, as we'll finally be switched off of Jakob Poeltl, and Alec Burks blows right by us, as they will now lead by 9. Brian Hunt exhausted, trying to carry this Indiana Pacers team. Jab steps up against Alec Burks, takes the ball inside against Jakob Poeltl, and ends up dunking it down, slamming it down. Oh, wow. For his 34th point, I believe. 32nd point. And again, switched on to Jakob Poeltl. Not a good play. Maybe we'll just manually change that, as the coach does not know what he's doing. And Jakob Poeltl will be left open from 3, but will not matter. Now Jalen Brunson on, as that'll probably be worse than us guarding him, and will not end up getting the rebound. Almost steals it, but, I mean, sorry about that. Left open again, and I mean, if they're going to put small guards on Jakob Hodel, Jakob's going to make him pay, as he is a good scorer in the inside. Looking for a screen is Brian Hunt, exhausted again, trying to carry the load offensively for the Indiana Pacers, as we'll just pass over to Theo Maledon in the corner, trying to set a screen for him, but he does not want it, and he'll end up taking a tough shot and missing. Stagnant offense yet again from the Indiana Pacers, and Caris LeVert will look to take the last shot. 4 seconds left against Jalen Brunson, and he'll end up hitting the shot. And now, when Brian Hunt is needed most in the fourth quarter, he will be taken out for a majority of it. So great coaching, Rick Carlisle. We'll see you in the fourth quarter again. Back in the game in the fourth quarter, 7.5 minutes left to go. Brian Hunt and John Morant subs back in. We'll call for a screen from Gordon Hayward. Brian Hunt will drive in against Joel Embiid and end up not getting the shot off. Wendell Carter gets another screen. We'll look for John Morant in the corner, and he'll end up having to take a tough shot and end up missing as we lose by 11. So not great. As we'll get switched on to Caris LeVert very randomly. Mikal Bridges left wide open, and he'll hit that. No, he won't. Joel Embiid, loose ball foul. I definitely thought Mikal Bridges is hitting that shot, but he doesn't, as we'll get a screen from Wendell Carter. And Gordon Hayward left wide open, but goes too far out on the three-point line. And we'll end up looking for another shot, pass down to John Morant, and turnover. That looks like it's going to be the game, guys. I mean, stagnant offense, we're not going to be able to come back from it. Maybe I'm thinking too negatively, as Joel Embiid is left open but does not end up hitting the shot, as Brian Hunt will be left open and he'll end up getting the dunk, pushing it back up to 9. 6.5 minutes left to go. I mean, there's a chance, but again, I'm not sure with this offense being so stagnant and this defense not playing good enough, as Mikal Bridges will look for the three-point opportunity but end up missing it. And Caris LeVert gets the ball in at the wing. 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left. Keldon Johnson left somewhat open, and he'll end up missing, thankfully. John Morant grabs the rebound and ends up passing it down to Brian Hunt. Wendell Carter will get us a screen, and we'll end up driving it inside and end up hitting the finger roll at the top. 36 points from Brian Hunt, playing the best game he has in his young career, trying to fight back against this Dallas Mavericks squad as they lose by 7 now. As we'll look to guard Caris LeVert looking for the ball. Joel Embiid ends up getting the ball back and looking to post up Wendell Carter. He'll end up taking a tough fadeaway, and Brian Hunt will grab the rebound. Brian taking it back up the court, crosses over, gets the good screen, and ends up missing the shot. I thought that was a good look, but Keldon Johnson plays good defense and will not end up converting. Keldon Johnson looking for Alec Burks at the top. Joel Embiid now at the top of the court. Not Jalen Johnson. Keldon Johnson gets the ball. Alec Burks now with the ball. Put your hands up. He's not going to be able to get a shot off. Look for the rebound. Caris LeVert, tough shot. Left wide open, though, as he'll end up missing. Grabbing the rebound is Brian Hunt. Josh Christopher left wide open. Will he hit it? No! As he'll end up missing the shot. Left wide open. And that might have helped us fight back against this team, as Caris LeVert has the ball in the corner now. And Joel Embiid will end up missing the shot. Another rebound by Brian Hunt, looking to push the offense, push the tempo a little bit, as Josh Christopher will be left open again, but Brian Hunt will not end up trusting him, and he ends up missing the easy shot. Got the defender in the air, and looks like it'll be another miss for... Sorry, we need to pause real quick. All right. And end up being another miss for Brian Hunt. Caris LeVert left open, step back, another rebound from Brian Hunt, getting all the rebounds in this last quarter of play. John Morant left open, and not fast enough at the pass. Brian Hunt will get the ball yet again. Good defense from Joel Embiid will not let us get the ball. We'll end up jab stepping against Joel. And a foul against Joel Embiid. And we'll look to hit both of these free throws. First one is good, 37 points on the night. Another shot to push him within 5, and he'll end up making it take over for Brian Hunt. 38 points, maybe his first 40 piece coming up in his career. And Dallas Mavericks will end up taking a timeout. Of course, with Brian Hunt's takeover, he will not be taken out of the game unless Rick Carlisle really wants to ruin this game for us, and he will be left in the game, as Jakob Poeltl will end up getting the player of the game. Makes sense, as he hit some clutch buckets in that third quarter. 10 points tonight. 81-76, losing by 5 is the Indiana Pacers. 3 minutes and 40 seconds left to go. Kennedy Chandler will end up getting the screen, and illegal screen from Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid selling the game right now. 5 points as we look at a block from Joel Embiid. But Brian Hunt and the Pacers might have a chance at coming back from this after it looked almost irremediable. Or that's not the right word. As he'll drive in, and his first 40 piece of his career ends up coming against the Dallas Mavericks and Joel Embiid, as he will push him within 3, and there goes Caris LeVert dunking on Brian Hunt, pushing him back within 5, but we'll look to get the ball right back. Of course, with the takeover, the teammates will trust us, as Brian Hunt will dribble the ball inside, call for a screen from Grant Williams. Grant Williams hits a good screen, good defense from Keldon Johnson, will end up missing it, but bad shot from Grant Williams, not an inside scorer, as they'll dribble the ball back up. 3 minutes left in the game to come back from 5. Can't let them to score. We need to stop this possession, as we'll make sure we guard up. And there goes Joel Embiid, left open for a second. Definitely would have hit that shot against the good defense, but bad shot from Caris LeVert, and Brian Hunt will take the ball inside, pump fake, and end up missing the shot. No! He misses the shot against the bad defense. And Mikal Bridges will end up hitting it. 7 points now. Brian Hunt sells the easy layup, as it looks like that'll be the game. Left open from 3, though, and he'll miss it. Not enough shooting badges, I assume. Grant Williams will hit the putback. 5 points, 2 minutes. It's possible, but Jakob Poeltl coming back into the game. They're looking to run big. And I don't know if we have the height to match that, as Grant Williams is playing, I mean, to put it nicely, terribly. Not strong enough, and I don't like him on the team. I don't like him on the starting lineup. As good block from Wendell Carter. No. I do not want Gordon Hayward taking any shots. I want it to be me, John Morant, and potentially Wendell Carter, as Wendell will be left open, and he'll end up hitting the open shot. 3 points for 1.5 minutes left to go. We'll look to make this comeback, and we need a stop here. If we let up a point, we will not end up winning this game, as Kennedy Chandler dribbles in. Joel Embiid now in the post, and he'll end up missing the shot. And Wendell Carter ends up getting the rebound, driving the ball inside Brian Hunt. Brian Hunt looking wide open, and he'll end up dunking it down. 1 point game for the Indiana Pacers. Good hezzy from Brian Hunt leaves him wide open for the rim, and 1 point game in this affair, as Kennedy Chandler will be open, but will not end up taking it. Good closeout from Brian Hunt, and he'll end up taking a tough shot and end up missing. He almost hit that. And they'll look for Brian Hunt yet again. Brian Hunt taking it inside, dunks it down for the points. Oh my God. And they lead. The Indiana Pacers lead by 1. And now, with a minute left to go, will Dallas be able to make this comeback? Brian Hunt playing magnificently. 44 points and 9 rebounds with 3 assists. Not to mention a clutch block. And Caris LeVert will drive on the inside, taking it inside, end up taking a tough mid-range shot, and Keldon Johnson will get the rebound back, left Caris LeVert wide open, and Caris will miss. Grab the rebound from Grant Williams, and we'll look to dribble the ball out and save this opportunity. We'll call for an isolation so nobody else can get this ball from us. And 29 seconds left on the shot clock. 27, 26, 25. We'll dribble the ball in. End up passing over to Grant Williams. Grant Williams left open, and he doesn't end up selling. And Brian Hunt with the assist. They need a 3 to come back in this game. And Grant Williams might have just sealed it. 88-85, Indiana Pacers ball, or Dallas Mavericks ball. as it looks like they'll look up to set up a 3-point shooter. We won't allow them to. They do have the last shot, so potential to post it up into overtime. And Kennedy Chandler left wide open. He'll end up taking the shot and miss. Jakob Poeltl, though, gets the rebound back. Karis LeVert left wide open. Was his foot on the line? It wasn't. And get Brian Hunt the ball for the foul shots. As 0.9 seconds left to go, and it is over. And that is the game. Clutch points from Brian Hunt, and we will see you at the main menu.